Hello, everybody, to take two of episode 16 of Netflix Weekly. The reason we're doing a take two is because it wasn't up to our standards. It has nothing to do with the fact that we had accidentally not pressed record. It's just totally that the first version just wasn't up to our high standards that we both have.
Yeah. So that's the reason. It's not
So
because
just
Rob
pretend
called me.
just pretend you've heard us talking about whores and Grindr and Tinder and
Oh, we
all
can
the
do
different
that
stuff
again,
that you
just
can
in
see.
short.
All right, visit our netflixweekly.com for my Grindr page, my Tinder page, my Chatterbait link, and my OnlyFans link where you can watch me squash grapes.
Which we will do for you if you want to buy us on iMac or pay us money for the show, of course.
Be very specific which part of me you want me to crush the grapes with.
And then he'll crush grapes with his feet in slow motion.
Or my penis.
Well, he'll crush his penis in slow motion.
With grapes.
With grapes.
Or email us at welovehorse@netflixweekly.com or Rob's Chatterbait at netflixweekly.com.
Also, I've been playing with my camera setup. Here's a picture. Rob's already seen it.
And now we're not going to have to waste everybody's time waiting to see if it's on Instagram.
It all works out. So it's a mess. We're still working on things. Next week, we're going to try something even different. It might not even affect anything, but
I'll be naked in next week's episode. I don't have any pants on right now, but I will be completely, and that's why I wore a tank top, to get everybody used to the idea of me having no clothes on next time.
I wish you wouldn't stand up when we're not recording.
Hey, how else am I going to crush these grapes?
That's true. Or your penis.
All right, honorable mentions. I'll go first. I watched a fantastic zombie-ish movie called The Girl with All the Gifts.
I think that's on Netflix. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Great minds.
Definitely watch it if you're into. Man, why can't we go this fast every time?
Yeah.
If you're into zombie movies, definitely watch it. It's not zombies per se, but it's, like I was saying before, similar to 28 Days Later-ish. Not zombies, but the zombie genre. And it's great. Very, very, very good movie. Enjoyed it a lot.
It's all right.
All right. God. It's better than Army of the Dead. That's for goddamn sure.
We'll get into that. My honorable mention is a great documentary. I think you should check it out. It's called The Orange Years, which talks about is a Nickelodeon documentary. They do not talk about the Nickelodeon documentary. They are one. They go through everything, Rob. Everything. Like,
including the porno years.
But no, they kept that one out.
Oh.
But like,
that was favorite. That was my favorite part of SpongeBob SquarePants, when he went to pornography.
That's the rule 34, whatever they call that on the internet. Anyway, they go through all the shows that they had back in the heyday, stuff that we'd see in Canada as on different channels, of course. We would see
mostly Channel 25, right? YTV. I think.
I think so. They'd have Guts. The Guts was one of my favorites. So they jump around in moon shoes and get slimed. Speaking of slime, one of their first huge hits was "You Can't Do That on Television."
Yep.
Or you can't say a certain phrase, which was,
oh fuck, slime.
No, the bad phrase you cannot say on television.
Fuck. There's 7 dirty words.
I don't know.
Were you allowed to say the 7 dirty words on You Can't Do That on Television?
You can't say I don't know.
Oh, fuck. Do you know what the 7 dirty words are that you can't say on television?
No.
You never watched that George Carlin skit?
No.
Oh my God, I'm really aging myself.
I might have actually watched it, but I can't remember it because I am a big stand-up buff. Anyway, this documentary goes through all the Nickelodeon shows. I'm up to the point where they talk about Rugrats, Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and Rocko's Modern Life as being like cartoons that they paid for to make. Like, they paid to make those cartoons and put them on their channel. So originals.
And we were going at 100 miles an hour when we started, and then we just hit a brick wall, slow right down again.
Ren and Stimpy was crazy, right, Rob?
It was unfortunately made by a guy who is human garbage and a bit of a sex predator, but just forget about all that and just enjoy how crazy Ren and Stimpy was, because like we were talking about before, Ren and Stimpy was, I'd argue that Ren and Stimpy wasn't good, but it was extremely original, where you watch and you're like, I've never seen. There's nothing else like fucking Ren and Stimpy, which is what makes it really enjoyable.
It's insane.
But yeah, John Kricfalusi is a bit of a scumbag.
So I would suggest going to watch it. I'm going to watch the second half very soon. Not right now because we're doing a show.
That's right. And for me, my last honorable mention, because I knew I was going to be watching Arm of the Dead, and I knew I would not enjoy it. I did not hate it as much as I thought I would, so I will get that out there. But I did hate it. But no, I watched the first Godfather. I got the Godfather in 4K, which is arguably one of the best movies ever made. The 4K transfer doesn't look as good as I wish it would.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's especially when there's a lot of older films that they can do that looks spectacularly good. Like a lot of the Kurosawa stuff, a lot of the Kubrick stuff, it looks great, you know. And I know that Francis Ford Coppola was always filming on these huge Panavision cameras, like the ones that he used for Apocalypse Now. I can't remember the specifics of the camera, but they were like the best of the best of the best type of thing. And the Apocalypse Now 4K transfer looks wonderful. So it kind of bummed me out. The Godfather, it looks good, but not as good as it should be. A little bit of graininess, a little bit of bleeding in the blacks, but otherwise, it's arguably one of the best movies ever made. Every scene of it, just for me, I love going back to watch The Godfather when I just need to be reminded about how good movies can be. One of the same reasons I go back to Kubrick stuff or Kurosawa stuff or older Scorsese stuff. But yeah, if you've never seen The Godfather, you absolutely must. It is one of the best movies ever made.
This is one of those types of movies where I don't really enjoy that type of movie, so I don't watch it.
Which is fine. It's one of those movies, in my opinion, and you know,
Sopranos.
A lot of people disagree with me, so feel free to totally disagree. But it's one of those movies, and this is my reasoning. I said to my wife a lot of times is there's some movies that you simply have to watch to see where entire genres of other movies came from. And if you don't watch older Scorsese stuff, or especially Godfather stuff, The Godfather, Godfather 2, there's so many movies that have ripped them off that you'll watch. You're like, oh shit, I've seen this before. I've seen this before, because they all took it from The Godfather. You know, we've all heard about the horse in the head, the horse in the bed. We've all heard about Offrey, I Can't Refuse. We've all heard of, Never Ask Me About My Business, Kate. We've all heard these things that people say in the modern lexicon. And if you don't know where it comes, those all came from The Godfather and Godfather 2.
Yeah, but it's pop culture.
Right. Enough of the goddamn Godfather.
Let's
talk about our 2 features.
Talk about some better things.
Yeah, better. That's an arguable term.
Bitter.
We'll discuss that.
All right. First of all, we go into the French movie that was placed on Netflix called Oxygène.
Oxygène. Yeah. All right. What was your feeling on Oxygen?
Okay. I really enjoyed it. There is a asterisk, unfortunately, and that is the the end. And it falls so flat at the end. Like they could have done so much with the end. Well, it's like you had this idea for a movie, like a storyline that was so interesting, but you didn't even bother to care about your ending. It was just like
they definitely did not begin with the end in mind.
It was bad. Like that, just the ending is bad. Everything else was fantastic. I loved it. The acting was fantastic. The audio dub was amazing.
It really was,
compared to other audio dubs that are on Netflix. So I don't know if they did it in-house or what.
Especially when you have people in a panic. That's one thing that audio dubs really fuck up on, is people panicking. But this one did a great job.
Well, they're often called in, literally.
Yeah.
So I absolutely loved it. I loved it for anyone who didn't bother to watch the movie, and I suggest you go watch the movie, then come back and watch the show. Oxygen is this woman that wakes up in a pod, and has no clue why she's there. It's basically the idea of Ryan Reynolds
Yeah,
buried,
buried. Yeah.
and it's basically
A
almost a
more
sci-fi.
yeah, a more
Yeah.
science fiction angle of Buried. Yeah.
So they were both done really well. I love Buried.
I much prefer the ending of Buried to the ending of this.
Yeah,
Sure.
if the Oxygen needed a M. Night Shyamalan type ending, or some little hitch, you know, like
I think it needed a downer ending. I think there was a spot it should have ended, and it didn't end there. And I don't want to interrupt you because I absolutely agree with where you're going. For me, the best way to describe it is it felt like a balloon that was filling and filling and filling, and it was tense. I was waiting for it to pop, and then it just fizzles out by the end. Someone just lets it go and it just fizzles right out, and I was like, oh man, it sucked out so much of the tension of the movie with its happy-go-lucky ending. I did not enjoy that.
It was definitely a storybook ending that was like one page of a picture.
It was I feel like it was tacked on.
Yeah, totally.
To get more people to think of it as a romance story when
it
should have been a sci-fi kind of thriller, because it felt like a sci-fi thriller.
I definitely would have believed that if someone were to say it actually ended at a certain point and someone told them, hey, we don't like that ending, we're going to have to add something real quick.
Yeah, make it happier. Because for me, and you know, we'll spoil it. Like Phil said, go and watch the movie if you haven't already. So it's this woman. She wakes up.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, or if you want to explain the synopsis.
I just didn't want you to get straight to the ending. Go ahead and
yeah. So it's a woman. She wakes up in a pod. She doesn't know what the pod is. She finds out that she can speak to the pod through its interface called Milo. So she's speaking to Milo. She determines she's able to put together. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know what her name is. She's able to figure out that Milo can tell her, can show her a mirror so she can see what she looks like. Not necessarily a mirror, but like a hologram image of herself.
Yeah.
She looks at herself, and then as the story progresses, she basically finds out who she is. She discovers that she was a scientist who worked in cryogenics, I believe.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, she worked in cryogenics, and she's having flashbacks, and she's trying to force herself to have these flashbacks, but she can't figure out what's the catalyst to make her have these flashbacks. And through these flashbacks, she discovered that she had a husband. It looks like her husband became sick, but we don't know what happened to him. She finds out that she can call out, so she calls to the police. She's asking the police, come find me. I think I'm buried under the ground. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. And
she originally thinks that she's in a hospital somewhere, or
that's right.
Yeah. So she doesn't think she's buried. She does worry at one point that she's buried.
Oh, and also one of the most important parts is her oxygen is running out. When she awakens, she's at 35% oxygen, I think. And then her oxygen is slowly, of course, running out, as Milo's explaining to her all the time.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is she gets on the phone with a woman. She is trying to call her husband. She remembers her husband's full name. She's trying to call someone. She calls the number that she knows for her husband, or that she recollects for her husband.
Yeah, it pulls up two numbers, and
and a woman answers, and the woman says, "Never call here again." And then that number hangs up, and then that number calls her back and says, "I only have a very short amount of time to talk to you, so listen very carefully." And she says, "You're basically like 30 million miles away from Earth. You're part of Earth is dying. It's going to die in the next 2 generations. So you're part of a group that's going to go inhabit another planet that's similar to Earth, that can sustain life.
Yeah.
And you're part of that team that's going out there." And she goes, "Right now you're in space. You're not buried. That's why they can't find you. You're not fucking buried. You're in outer space." And she doesn't believe her, but then she eventually comes to believe her. And this woman explains that through more of the flashbacks that's going on, and Phil, correct me if there's any part of this I miss out, through all the flashbacks that are coming back, she realizes that her husband died, that her husband got sick with a virus and died. And she discovers that she died as well. This lady that was talking to her on the phone is actually her. She originally thought it was maybe didn't she think it was her mother? I believe
she didn't ever find out that she died.
Oh, she didn't. Okay, I thought for some reason she had found out that she died. But effectively, she discovers that she's a clone of the original version of herself.
Yeah.
And her husband.
She finds out that she actually is in existence currently as an old person who was talking at a conference recently.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. I thought she had said that she is the person that she was talking to when she called Leo.
That is true, but I'm saying like the big reveal at one point was when like when she was looking for herself. Oh, and she found the conference, and it was like blurry host of the conference,
right, yeah.
And then they did the reveal that it was her, but older.
Yeah.
So that was a reveal. But then later on, the other reveal was that she was talking to herself. So the idea was that, oh, she's older, she's in the pod, but she's not, she's younger. What's going on with that? And then it reveals during talking that, yeah, she's a clone.
Yeah, that she's, and effectively all these people are clones that are being sent to this other planet to repopulate basically this other planet to make sure that the human species continues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I thought was really great, and this is where to me this should have been the last minute of the movie.
So she's running out of oxygen.
Correct. She's running out of oxygen. She says, "Oh yeah, so let's explain how the movie does end." She's running out of oxygen. She's down, and her older self says, "You can only go back to hypersleep with 2% oxygen. That's how much you need to be able to survive the ride. It's going to be like 12 years till they arrive at the location. You need at least 2% oxygen." And Milo's telling her, "You're down to 3. You're down to 4. You're down to 3." And then she's like, she decides, okay, she's good to go back into hypersleep. She figures something out or whatever. She's good to go back into hypersleep. She says, "Well, you can't now. You only have 2% oxygen or 1% oxygen. So you can't. You've missed the threshold." And then it starts counting down. And she says, "Milo, how long will I survive?" He goes, "Once you have 0 oxygen, you should survive for about 90 seconds. And then you'll effectively die." And she goes, "Well, what if you were to open the door and I was to just go into space? How long would I live?" "You would live for roughly 11 seconds, but it would be extremely painful." She goes, "Okay." And she goes, options. "Oh, yeah, options." She's thinking options. She's like, "Why don't I just steal some of the air from the other guys?" Because some other people, her little convoy of clones got hit by a comet.
First, she was told that she could take stuff that isn't important in the processes of her pod and try to eliminate those. But then it kept being like, you would lose your legs, or you would be dead anyway. And then
you would only last for 10 minutes once we arrive, type of thing.
So none of that would work, but like some of them could. And then she figured out a way that it would work, but it was too late.
Yeah, that's right.
And then and then when
and that's when she realizes, well, shit, just take the oxygen from some of the other pods, because there was a comet that hit it and killed about 400 people. I think.
That was another big reveal. She did not know about that. It finally let her see outside.
Yeah. Then, he has like a filter, and then turns the filter.
Oh my god, that jumped me.
Yeah, that was a great fucking reveal. I thought that was fantastic. But then she decides, hey, steal some of the oxygen from another pod to get me back up to 100%. He says, okay, it's going to take about 10 minutes, but you'll survive. Let's put you back into hypersleep. She goes back into hypersleep, and this is how the movie ends. She goes back into hypersleep while Milo is bringing oxygen over to her tank, and then it fades to black, and then fades back up with her and her husband on, I guess, the beach of this new planet, and they're like, "Oh, I love you," and they're kissing each other and looking out, and I'm like, no,
I just wanted to like burn this scene.
Yeah, I was like, God damn it. In my opinion, where it should have ended, this should have ended with her dying. I just feel like that's what I loved about Buried with Ryan Reynolds, is like it's not a downer ending, but it's the best ending. Like, it's the ending that the guy kind of, not deserves is the wrong word, but I hate the idea of the person getting away just in the nick of time. I hate that idea.
I'll one up you on this one.
Oh, really? No, so where I think it should have ended, I'll say where I should have ended, then you say where you think it should have ended. She looks outside, she realizes, all right, and she's like, oh shit, I'm part of space, and she records a message for her husband. And then when she realizes, okay, good, what?
That was a good part.
Oh yeah, when she realizes, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to go into hypersleep, she should open the door and fade away into space, and it would have been wonderful. In my opinion, again, it's kind of you might think, ugh, that's stupid, but she would float, and if she as she kind of froze to death and floated, she would like maybe knock or get stuck right in front of her husband's cube. So the entire trip to the next thing, he doesn't know it, she doesn't know it because she's dead, but she's right in front of him. She's holding on to his little cube. I thought that would have been cool. That would have been the way that I would have ended it.
Yeah, if she could find it in all those.
But again, that's what it would have been like. This is the magic of science fiction. She floats away and just miraculously somehow gets to his cube.
I honestly thought they were going to do something stupid and have her like float out and into another pod
and survive.
I thought that would that's completely none of it's realistic. But
and you know what? That raises a good point. It felt realistic. Everything there was nothing science fiction-y. It was all like you're running out of oxygen. All the reasons Milo said I can't do something like this was all totally legitimate fucking reasons. Like when she's like, Milo, open the door. I was like, I can't. That's an administrative thing. So I can't do it without the administrator password. She's like, what's the administrator password? I was like, I can't tell you. I don't know what it is. I'm just a computer.
Okay. So they showed you many times the rat in the maze. Mouse in the maze, whatever. They showed you her suffocating.
Yep.
Okay. These things should have been clues, and they kind of were, but these things should have been clues as like this being this huge mind game type thing, where it was like, okay, so she dies, but they stop the simulation or they stop the whatever it is, and and she comes out and she's surrounded by everyone who was testing her, and then they like shoot her anyway or wipe her mind and do it again because they're trying to get the clones to mature and get smarter. It wouldn't even have to be real. Exactly, because it did seem like that. It seemed like this was this huge maze, this huge like you need to figure this out. And like the suffocating thing would make sense because they would be like, how many times has this happened?
Yep.
And the rats in the maze, like
I think we were texting, or at least I was texting you because that's what I always do. I always annoy you by texting you while I'm watching this shit. And I was like, this is right out of a Black Mirror episode. Like it feels very Black Mirror until it got to the ending and it was all, sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, it was. If
the French person who made Oxygen. We think you did an amazing job, except that ending. Oh my God! Can you like take it back?
just cut it out. Make a director's cut that has that part fucking.
Oh my God! Please tell us that someone made you do this.
Yeah, you were forced to by Netflix France.
So what do you give?
Oxygen?
What do you? Okay, no, wait. Okay, first, what's our ratings out of 100?
For me, out of 100, I give it a 65. It was not great, but it suffered badly from its ending. But yes, I go with a 65.
I would go high, and I would give it an 85.
Nice.
Aside from like, it would have gotten even higher, probably 90 if the ending was good.
Yeah, I same here. It would have definitely gotten higher for me if that ending was she died in a noble way. I would have really liked that.
All right, what do you think the critic score for this movie is?
Part of me thinks that critics would hate this because it might be a bit too slow and not artsy enough for critics. So I'm going to say critics probably gave it a 70.
89%.
Shit, that's surprising. That means if they gave it an 89%, then the viewer score has to be low, like maybe
audience 60, score 65. Is 75.
Ooh,
so you're on the right track. So either way, it's a good score.
Yeah, and it's a good movie. It's a really, really good movie. It's definitely worth watching.
And if you've watched this up to this point, still go watch it. It's worth watching. Yeah,
really, and watch it with the. If you don't like subtitles, the dubs are fine. You know what I mean? Like the dub version is really, really good. The French version, I think because I don't know, I can't hear people panic in French. I don't know why. It's just not it's not a language. Yeah. It's like, no, it doesn't work for me. So watch it with the dub, unless you like reading subtitles and watch it in French. But good movie.
Yeah, I completely agree.
On to our next film, which
shot
you
right
know
out of
what?
the park.
I've
Like,
got
amazing.
I've
Your
got a lot
favorite.
of good and bad things to say, but mostly bad.
Rob loves zombie
Pretty much
movies.
all bad. But I'll let you take the driver's seat on this one, and I'll just
Oh,
chime in when I want to chime in.
I didn't take notes, so if you
No,
took
all right.
notes, you should do it.
Now I didn't take notes in the sense of here's what's happening now. Here's what's happening. The majority of my notes are, well, this is fucking stupid. Here's
Okay.
what's happening.
I'll try to go from memory then.
All right. So the movie starts with oh fuck. The movie starts with an army
The caravan.
convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, an army caravan with a like a fucking shipping container that's got something in it. You don't know what. And then a newly married couple.
Yeah. A Vegas couple.
Yeah, Vegas couple.
I married a stripper, kind of thing.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you made an honest woman out of me, and now I'm going to give you head in the car."
Yeah, awesome.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." But I've only been to Vegas one time in my life, and when I went to Vegas, what's that?
That didn't.
Yeah,
happen.
that's right. I didn't see a lot of people giving head in cars, but what
No,
I
I mean,
did
to
see was
you.
a shit ton of people. There is the army convoy on a little dirt road with two two lane traffic on it. There's the army convoy, and then there's the head family coming the other way. And I'm like, there's usually more people, I think, in Las Vegas.
Well, this isn't Las Vegas. This is outer, like those roads leading away. It's like the desert, which is fine. Like, so I'm like, it isn't that busy there.
So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Now, Mr. Head is getting a blowjob, and he decides to veer into the oncoming traffic.
He didn't decide.
Okay, sorry. So he's getting his dick sucked, and he's like, "Oh, it's so good," and he just veers into the oncoming traffic of this convoy. When his shitty '89 Pontiac Bonneville hits this army truck, it fucking explodes. Literally. Like it was carrying 8,000 tons of gasoline.
It disintegrated.
And I was like, Hack Snyder needs to learn how explosions work.
Well,
because if a piece of shit Bonneville runs into a fucking truck, it doesn't blow up like a fucking atom goddamn bomb. Because there were 4 fucking trucks in this army convoy, and all 4 of them go off the road. Like, no.
This movie was like excessive for every little thing.
Oh fuck, was it just a tad?
Like anything gore, anything explosions. Yeah, it was, but the little gunshots.
now what I like too is it's just all fucking mass anarchy. The shipping container is thrown away. Also, let's mention too, some of the CG in this is great. And some of the CG is abysmally fucking bad. Like, I mean, like 1998 fucking Spawn bad, or whenever Spawn came out. Like, bad, dude. Real bad. But so the shipping container bounces down the road, and then the door opens up. Now, Mr. Head and Headgiver, they must be obliterated because nobody in the fucking army decides to go, oh shit, let's go see if the people who fucking ran into us are alive. Their car must just be fucking bit the dust. You know what I mean? So the door opens on the shipping container, and then zombie guy jumps out and starts biting into necks and blood and guts and shit.
In fast motion. Yeah.
But I will say I expected a shit ton of slow motion here, and there wasn't. So I was surprised by that. There wasn't slow motion out of the gate. But he's biting. He runs off into the desert. And it was at this point that they look over and they see like the city of Las Vegas, right? And I was saying to myself, I imagine it must have killed Hack Snyder to have color in his movie. But at least he was able to get, and I know he's going to get more hot, sexy built guys in the movie because the zombie, hot, sexy built guy, the army guys, hot, sexy built dudes.
Oh, it's just constant,
constant, right?
They're like flexing, and everything they say is flexing.
But so the zombie, I guess, just decides he's going to go to Las Vegas, and all the army guys are going to follow him because I guess once he nibbles you but doesn't bite you apart, you become like a zombie army ant.
In my brain, I made up a little thing where it's like this guy is actually not a zombie but an alien, and
Okay.
but we don't know, like we look at it as a zombie, right?
I saw him as a zombie. You might be right, but
Well,
I
that's what
saw him
I'm
as a
saying, is
zombie.
like, how do we know that an alien isn't going to come down and do that kind of thing?
I guess, but we'll get to my opinion of him, who I nicknamed Thor Zombie,
We can
by the
call
end of
him
the movie.
Superman.
So the credits start, and it's showing how everyone's getting killed. Now, this
It's a
part, I'll admit,
montage.
I was having a bit of fun because the collage is it's so stupid and over the top. There's showgirls with their tits out getting killed, and
Oh yeah.
it's just really dumb. Now, where I knew I was not going to have a good time was when it comes up and says who the director of photography was for the movie. Director of photography was Zack Snyder. But I will say, Jesus Christ, Hack Snyder being the director of photography, this shit is going to look terrible. And it did look terrible. But once I saw that, I was like, this is going to be bad. Now, once that whole montage scene is done, and that, like I said, that montage scene was fun. I had fun watching that. The movie hits a just deafeningly dead stop, where now we've got to meet Dave Bautista.
And, oh, okay. I thought you were gonna.
Right, we've got to meet him, and Dave Bautista works, and he's a cook in some shit fucking podunk restaurant, and we've got to learn about.
It's the same Vegas diner that everyone always shoots in when they're trying to shoot that off the biscuit.
But also, diner, it's right off the road. It's all dusty. It's got it's got all of your would-be characters in it. You know, the grizzled sheriff, the fucking guy that plays his guitar. That's like it. Basic, but what happened? My problem with this is the movie stops fucking dead, like dead, to say, here's Dave Bautista, and he had a wife. Where he is now. She got sick, and she's got a daughter, and then Mr. Tanaka, which I thought was quite comical because Tanaka has been used in Bloodsport, and used Die Hard, and used
that lots of actor has been in everything.
And I love it. What recent movie did we watch that he was in?
I couldn't remember.
Oh. Every part of the movie, whenever I saw him,
every movie,
go, get over here.
Because he was Scorpion. That's right.
So yeah, I had a ball going, get over here every time he was on camera. But so yeah, Mr. Tanaka comes and says, now try to put the logic of what Mr. Tanaka's here. Try to apply the logic. So Mr. Tanaka comes up to Dave Bautista. Says, Dave Bautista, there's $200 million buried at the bottom of a casino.
It's
in there, my casino. It's in a safe.
Yeah.
And he says,
he's already been paid out from the.
Yep, I've already got the insurance money for it. So now it's just cash that's sitting there that anybody can take. I want you and your team to go in, take that 200 million out for me, bring it back to me. I'll give you 50 million of it. Now, from Dave Bautista's side of things, it's basically something, hey, I'll give you 50 million to go risk your life.
Yeah.
And he says, fine, that's fine. But I didn't get
okay,
Tanaka,
so that whole thing.
Hold on now. Tanaka wants to spend the amount of money he's going to have to, because he has to spend a shit ton of money to build models, which we'll talk about in a second.
That model was expensive.
All this bullshit to send them in there to get it. So he might as well have spent 100 million.
No, come on.
Lose 50 million to send them in. Like, look at all that. He had to fucking hire a guy who was going to bring She-Ra's head back. He had to build the model. He had to do all that other shit.
The model was $50 for him. Who cares?
$50? That fucking model was like that was better than Doc Brown was making in fucking Back to the Future.
He's got 3D printers that are giant. Who cares?
He probably makes 3D fucking printers.
Listen, that's not the worst part. The worst part of that was that 200 million for a guy like that is not a huge amount. Like it's a good amount, but it's not a huge. It's not worth going in, like sending people in worth the possibility of it getting in the news that he sent people in, worth killing people and then having to cover that up. Like it's just not worth it, which just kind of makes sense.
Way too little,
but that was covered in the movie.
But if it was going to be like, and this is where I was like, why can't it be like gold or fucking bonds or like something
Art,
where,
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Something about, hey, I paid $800 billion for this. I need it back, everything.
But there's no point to discuss that because that is discussed later on in the movie.
So Mr. Tanaka says to Dave Bautista, get a team together. 50 million is all yours. He goes, kick ass. So then Dave Bautista goes and finds his girlfriend. His girlfriend sounds like a girl version of Watto from episode 1, Phantom Menace, the Star Wars movie. Every time she would say something, I would start going, would you like to try my chance cube? Because everything she says, she's like, Dave Bautista, where are we going to get this team? I'm like, what accent is this woman trying to do? And
you liked her boobs.
She had no boobs.
She had okay boobs.
The men in this movie were gorgeous.
That's normal.
And for a fucking hack Snyder movie, you're goddamn right it is. But all the women were nothing. All of them had a little bit of fucking cleavage showing. Even She-Ra, the zombie princess, she had like a fucking outfit on. No. But the point is, like, he loves his guys. Women, he's like, whatever. Yeah, but the guys, those fuckers better look buff, man.
Which is fine.
So gay pride. Dave Bautista goes and gets Watto's girlfriend. He goes and finds his black buddy.
Can I mention something that you overlooked? I think because I think it already happened. It's overlookable. When they show his daughter talking with this unnamed actress,
Greedo.
No. This is before they got together, right? Before they got together as a team. The mother that went in to help her kids.
Yeah, that's Greedo. Her name in the movie was Gita, but I kept on calling her Greedo.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. She was a shit actress, by the way.
Oh, fuck. There's a lot of them in this movie.
That scene grinded to a halt because that was like too long. It was a horrible scene. I was just like, end this scene. It's too long.
Dave Bautista goes and asks Watto's wife, hey, come with me on this big thing. Here's what it's going to cost. Here's somebody. Okay, great. Then they go meet their black friend who likes to saw people apart with the jaws of life.
Yeah.
Hey, black friend, are you going to come along to this? Do you want to? Well, how much money are we going to pay? Well, I don't know. And they've got him. And then they meet a guy who's Juan Guzman of the YouTube world. Yeah. He likes to do like GTA videos of shooting zombies. This takes 49 minutes and 56 seconds before they get into fucking Las Vegas. 49 minutes of setup for a movie called Army of the Dead. The entire poster is about, hey, we're going to go inside fucking Las Vegas and blow the shit of the zombies. Your lead up should take at the absolute most 30 minutes. For all of your exposition set up, 30 minutes. 50 fucking minutes before they get into Las Vegas. I was so close to turning it off.
Well, they did that. Yeah, they did the setup for that. And then they like all the stuff to like get them there and like getting to the place was like quick.
Fucking, yep. Getting all their shit. All right, we got to get our Sawzall and we got to
double highlight video.
Yeah, 3 minutes. I was like, holy fuck, this is so boring.
It was weird.
My favorite though, was the Juan Guzman. I kept on calling him the Juan Guzman of YouTube. He has a Grand Theft Auto Las Vegas channel where he shoots zombies, and then I was like, if this guy turns around and says, smash that like button, I'm going to put my fucking foot through the television. And he turns around and he's like, remember y'all, smash that like button for more zombie killing. I'm like, fuck this movie. I hate this shit. This is fucking weak.
It would happen too. Like that's a YouTuber.
It was so fucking stupid.
By the way, people, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe
smash that like button, stuff, shoot zombies, zombie murder at netflixweekly.com to get hold of us. So Scorpion says that they've got 96 hours. So also they find out that the president is going to nuke Las Vegas. And he decides that he's going to
wall around.
Yep. And he decides he's going to nuke Las Vegas on 4th of July. So Scorpion, that's what I was calling Mr. Tanaka because he's Scorpion. He shows up and he says, you guys got 96 hours to get in there. He breaks out this amazing fucking 3D model of apparently all of Las Vegas, including his casino. And says, hey, This is a casino. There's a helicopter on top. How he knows there's still a helicopter on top? Who knows? You've got to bring gas for that helicopter. How he knows it's out of gas? Who knows? Here's where to go into the fucking, here's how to get there, what to get through. This is my guy. He's going to go with you. He has passcodes and all this type of shit. So you're like, oh, okay, that's the guy that's going to betray him. So the way everything's going to go. And he also says, this is Dieter, and Dieter is another guy that we have to fucking sit and meet and talk to. Dieter is the guy that's going to crack the safe. Now, this is where I was watching this with my girlfriend, Leslie. This is where usually Leslie is not one to bring shit up about movies. She'll be like playing Candy Crush or something on her phone. She'll barely pay attention. She turned around to me with the biggest logic bomb of this entire fucking movie. She's like, doesn't Tanaka own the casino? I was like, yeah. Why doesn't he just give them the fucking combination instead of having Dieter crack it? It's his fucking casino. It's his fucking money. Why do we have to crack the fucking safe? And I'm like, I don't know. So we can have comedy relief Dieter in the movie.
First of all, he might not. In reality, he might not have it. It might
be his fucking casino.
Underlings might have it, so that might be completely normal. Because
I think that's total bullshit.
That's also why would he even care? Like, if they can't figure out why he hadn't given them the code, why does he even care? Because the whole point, I can't say, because we're not there yet. But the whole, right. we'll get there.
So I said 31 minutes into this stupid movie, and we still haven't gotten anywhere. But at least all the shirtless, muscle-bound hunks are fun to look at.
Also, in this scene where they got the model and everything, he explains everything, and then he goes, "Okay, now play with my model," or something. He just says, "Go look at it," and I'm just sitting there like, "What? He just said that?" Like, no, he doesn't like say that, but he says like,
"Discuss
go ahead."
No,
he's pretty much telling them to go look at the model.
You have 96 hours now. Fuck around for a bit. Do I walk over to the model and play with the helicopter? That's what I was expecting Dieter to do. The one girl, the famously unfunny comedian Tig Notaro, is taking the fucking helicopter and is spinning the blade around on it like she's a kid playing with a Hot Wheels car.
By the way, I completely and utterly disagree with you. That actress is amazing.
Tig Notaro is possibly... Oh, and this is great. So Leslie says to me, I'm like, holy fuck, Tig Notaro is unfunny. She goes, all right, but who's less funny, Sarah Silverman or Tig Notaro? I was like, oh, you got me there. It's totally Sarah Silverman. Sarah Silverman fucking sucks.
You hate sarcastic comics.
I love sarcastic comics.
Everything that's come by so far, any sarcastic comic that's gotten into our acting, you have hated.
No, Tig Notaro was just not funny.
No,
like when you think of her in Star Trek Discovery, they tried to use
love her in
relief.
that.
She's not fun. No, she's not funny
because she has a personality that bleeds through. That's the problem. I mean, I
don't think so. I think I wish her personality would bleed through more. I feel like what she was saying in this movie was, "Hi, I'm comic relief. These are my comic relief."
She was. That's the thing.
But the comic relief wasn't fucking funny. In order to be the comic relief, it's supposed to be funny.
I liked it.
I
liked it.
My next point was, why does Hack Snyder like good songs, but he doesn't like the original versions of those good songs? He buys the rights for the song, but then pays a garage band to do that version of the song.
I'm sure he just finds a cover of it. He doesn't pay for someone to do it, but yeah.
I thought he still needs to buy the rights to use the original song, doesn't he? Or does he just have to buy the rights for the cover?
I'm pretty sure you could buy the rights for the cover, and then that just automatically transitions over to the original as well.
Okay, because I thought, like, why? There's so many good songs that he's using here, but he's using some fucking hackneyed cover version.
I think it's because he wants to have something different. He doesn't want to use those originals that have been used how many other times. So he'll get a different version that's kind of like, it'll give you a different feel, but he doesn't want that overused song. Just give me a different feel of it.
But you're basically using the same fucking song, just a different version. It's like in that Suicide Squad movie when they use Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, but recorded by new people. Like, why would you re-record fucking Bohemian Rhapsody?
It's just one of his things.
Yeah, it's called being things that bad directors do. So next thing, Batista Jr., that's the daughter, wants to go in and help find the mother. So this was good. Batista Jr. says, all right, I'm coming with you guys. So they meet a coyote, this blonde girl, blonde French girl with eyeshadow, trying to make her look like a raccoon. And
I loved the actress that did this, but I hated any story around this character because there was none.
yeah, I was gonna say, what story?
Exactly. There was like
But
nothing.
she's a coyote, and I'm like, okay.
She had a really good personality. She had a really good, like, she was great at acting it, but she had nothing to go on. There was nothing there.
But okay, so here is the exact dialogue that happens in this scene. Batista Jr. goes over to Coyote and punches her in the fucking face. And she says, bitch, where did you take Greedo? And she says, I took Greedo inside. And she says, well, did you know that Greedo has 2 kids? And she says, I didn't know that. I don't know some of that shit.
Why does that matter?
But she says, well, those kids are my responsibility. I'm supposed to I take care of them. And she goes, okay, well, fuck you. I don't know who you are. And then Batista Jr. turns around to Batista and says, well, I'm going in there with you. And he's like, no, you're not fucking going in there with us. And he goes, I've got to find the woman because I'm here to take care of her kids. Which I'm like, if you're there to take care of her kids, why the fuck do you not stay behind and take care of her goddamn kids instead of going in after her?
That's another way, like, just, what was trying to be said here. But it's
a stupid decision for a logical person to make. Also, you put the argument in front of me, I take care of these kids, but I'm going to abandon them to put myself into absolute likely peril, probably going to get killed to find their mother who's probably already dead. It's dumb.
Can we just like throw this to Obviousville? Like, I feel like they were like trying, I don't even know how to say it. They were saying but not saying, like, they're a lesbian couple.
Who?
The Batista Jr. and the mother
and the coyote. Oh, no. Greedo. Okay. Yeah.
That, like, once you see that, then you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense because he watches her kids. She cares about this girl. Like, okay, yes, they could be really good friends on the thing, but this is going so far that it's like why didn't they just why didn't they go full on with this and like have them kiss when they reunited and then have Batista go, oh.
See, okay. I thought. I didn't get that lesbian angle at all. I thought it was just really shitty script writing because I knew that Zack Snyder was one of the people that wrote it.
It could be, like, but like if you can, new lens here with the lesbian thing. Not that it matters.
Lesbian lens.
Yeah, lesbian lens.
I wear those
it makes sense. it makes a lot of sense at that point.
It does, but it still doesn't excuse the really stupid leaps in logic for this.
Well, there's a lot of leaps in logic in this movie.
So this is 1 hour in, 49. So 50 minutes in, they're finally walking through the gates of Las Vegas. I was like, okay, I'm ready to see some fucking zombie murder, dude. I'm ready to see some, all 4 for gore. Let's get going. So they go in, and the first thing to come out is a zombie tiger named Valentine, which was cool. Part of Siegfried and Roy's thing. I was like, okay, this is stupid, but this is fun. Like, it's stupid fun. You know what I mean? I enjoy seeing that. That made me laugh. Why they didn't shoot this zombie tiger? The guy, especially the bad guy who Scorpion said, this guy's going to go with you. He's got the fucking tiger in his sights. He's like, man, that's fucking weird. I don't ever want to run into that tiger again. I hope we don't see it again. Man, that was scary. Okay. Like, why did you not shoot it?
They're trying not to get the attention yet. They're still on the down low, even though that changes right after this. But they're still on the down low. Plus, if you look at that tiger, it's got a huge freaking like gunshot wound, like in its belly.
Do you want to talk about the one in the eyeball?
Yeah. Oh, there's one. No, I'm talking about the one in its belly, like on the side.
Yeah, where its sides.
There's like apart. A huge hole, and it doesn't look like bite marks. It looks like a giant, like freaking like shot.
I guess it was just, to me, I see that and I'm like, man, that's a scary. I hope we don't run into that guy again. That means you're going to run into that guy again. That's why you're not shooting him.
Yeah.
But then I called her.
Foreshadowing.
I called her Zombie She-Ra. So Zombie She-Ra comes out, and she is literally decked out like fucking She-Ra. She looks like a top showgirl as a zombie. Again, I was like, this is really stupid, But okay, I'm enjoying myself, but it's stupid.
Man,
Now,
that actress, there's a stunt person for that actress,
yeah, she did a great
really
job.
enjoyed to do that jump down.
But
Happened twice.
so tell me when she's coming out and then all the hot topless zombie guys are coming out, it looked like a scene from fucking Cats or Hamilton where all the actors are like slowly, da, 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 what kind of world is this that we are in? Like
Yeah.
it looked like a fucking musical. It looks so stupid. So that part comes out, and that's what I wrote down. When all the zombies come out and they're shrieking at each other to talk to each other, it looks like a bad fucking stage play of Cats because they're all
So
just
what
coming
they
out.
did was they brought along an extra body, another dude who was an asshole
Right.
earlier. He was
Yep,
like
yep.
taking advantage of the girls in the quarantine zone around
Yeah,
Vegas.
the typical pig guy that you want to see die.
This I have to explain because this is one of my biggest hates in the movie later on. So this guy is like a real asshole. He intimidates women. He gets them to do whatever he wants. Like
I don't think it's just necessary to women, but that's how they show quick and easy that he's a jerk.
They even say later on that he has been doing stuff to women and like forcing them to do stuff. All he needs to do is say their temperature is a little off, and he can shoot them. So like he could just say, "I'll shoot you," or blowjob you, you know?
Right, but my point is, I don't think that's why he's a bad guy. Yes, that's part of what makes him a bad guy, but I think he's a general asshole. He's a dick to everybody. He's one of those bro guys that everybody hates.
Yeah. Either way, the point is he's a dick. Okay. Yep. So the coyote says we need to bring this guy along. He'll be an extra body for helping us. And then as soon as they get in there, she shoots him, puts him in the ground. He doesn't die yet. Yeah. And he's bait. He's basically an offering for these zombies.
Yep.
And then at that point, they come out. They know the gist. They know how this works, and they take him.
This is where I was like, okay, this is dumb. And again, this is because I'm a big fan of the Romero zombie movies. Now, Romero, with this fourth zombie movie, Land of the Dead, he started flirting with the idea of there are smarter zombies, ones that'll be like the leaders, that'll ascend to be the leaders. Mm-hmm. This movie took that and went way too far with it, but I do like the idea of way too fucking far.
Only on like the alphas, but the other ones were all pretty much
okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. But with the alpha, they went 600 fucking miles too far. But with like She-Ra, the way that she would like shriek and tell everybody, no, shut the fuck up, you do this, take that guy to the alpha guy. She-Ra was good. I like the whole She-Ra idea. I thought that was cool. Now, whatever his name is, Doctor.
First, on that note about zombies, I agree that they shouldn't be super smart or even smart or even close to smart. I hate that. But I do look for in a zombie movie traits that person had before they were zombies, because I think that's brilliant. I think your brain should still be active in a primal way.
And that's what Romero did with his arguably worst zombie movie, Land of the Dead. That's what he does. He has like the one guy named Big Daddy who still works at a gas station. Like he thinks he's working at a gas station, but he's a zombie. So I saw where he was getting that idea from. And I like that idea. I think that's a cool idea. I do not like the, and we'll get to it, the alpha. Yeah. But so what happens is they shoot that guy, the shriekers take him away. And then somehow there's a big fucking battle. I don't remember how it gets started, but there's a big battle and a big shootout and shooting fucking zombies and this is that. And eventually they wind up at the under like the kitchen area, I guess, of the casino, like the underground area of the casino before they can go into it. Now, the zombies are hibernating or sleeping or something. But did you notice that some of them are sleeping like they're in a pose from the Thriller video? They're like, some of them are like,
there was a lot of
what
randomness.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And this is where I started noticing. I wrote down, I love how buff and sexy all these zombies are. Fuck this dieting bullshit. I'm going to get bitten by a zombie. That way I'll have the body that I've always wanted.
Yeah. And you might get lucky if you're bitten by an alpha.
Right?
Yeah.
I can have a bunch of zombie sluts. Zombie sluts at
no. Again, we don't use that term.
Oh, I'm sorry. Zombie horrors. I keep on saying fucking sluts. Zombie horrors at netflixweekly.com. My apologies to all the horrors for calling
we don't want to offend people.
I meant to call you. Yeah, I don't want to offend the horrors.
Horrors is a good.
Also, I love how every gun in this movie has enough ammunition until the plot requires that they don't have enough ammunition. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw this girl's she has like a Beretta, and the Beretta holds 16 bullets, I think. She fires easily about 55 bullets from this thing until she goes to point at someone and then click, it's out of ammunition. I'm like, oh, now you're out of ammunition when the thing needs you to. So I thought the one girl getting the gang girl from Subway Surfer, all the zombies jumping on top of her, and she's got a can of gas on her back, and that one guy shoots it and that blows up. That was fun. I was like, it's pretty neat.
And then they did that twice.
That's right. So Hack Snyder once again shows as a director he has absolutely no idea how to show a plot progressing as it's supposed to when they're in the middle of Las Vegas. We don't currently know what the status of anything is. We don't know where all the characters are in relation to each other. We don't know what the characters are trying to achieve. We simply know that they're walking through a bunch of fucking zombies that are currently frozen like they're in a Thriller video. A good director would remind you with one of the other actors or one of the other characters, reminding you of the characters to what we're getting towards, have a shot of maybe where the goal is or where they're trying to get towards, something that reminds you of your end game. Also, you want to know where your characters are in relation to each other, because if one is left far behind, you have to know if you're supposed to worry about the character. All this shit. And I'm not saying I'm some fucking expert movie maker, but this is shit that we've all seen before. And you're like, oh yeah, that guy, they can't forget about that guy. They need to show that guy and where that guy is in relation to everybody else. And he did not do that through that entire fucking scene. I had no idea where anyone was in relation to anyone else.
It's very one-track mind.
This is one thing in every Snyder movie I've watched, and it's something not unique to him, but he's good at.
Did you watch the Snyder cut?
No, I will never watch the Snyder cut. You can ask me every time. I'll never ever watch it. But I have watched.
Always bother you. Yeah.
A lot of other Snyder movies. One thing he's really good at is taking a tense scene and making it not tense, like sucking all the tenseness out of it. Like they're going into the casino, and in this casino, whole zombie hordes are coming after them. That they've got to fire at them, and there's digital blood splatter everywhere. Yeah. Not once at any time did I feel that any character was in any danger.
Yeah, it's very happenstance. It's like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah. And they're so loaded with guns and ammunition that you're like, well, fuck, you'll just take this off and bang, bang, bang. All right, that one's out of ammo. Bang, 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 bang. Like, I never once in any scene felt worried for anybody. And I'm like, dude, this kind of sucks. You're supposed to be worried that these people might fucking die. What did I write here? Oh, so they find the safe. Black Dude and Dieter go down to the safe.
Great team, by the way.
And then Black Dude starts talking about what if life and what we're in right now is just an infinite loop. Speaking of fucking oxygen, that we thought it would be an infinite loop of going, whatever she was going through. He says, what if life is just an infinite loop that we keep on losing at, and then we wake up and then we continue it again, and we finally got to get the right way that we're going to discover. I'm like, what in the fuck movie am I watching?
That's because they saw the bodies, right? They figured out earlier that other teams were sent by Nakamura, a Scorpion. Other teams are set, and then they have even more proof when they get down there of like burnt bodies or whatever. Yep. So yeah.
But he goes into the spiel about what if we're just reliving the same thing over and over again until we finally get it right? And I'm like, what the fuck kind of movie are we like? I don't think Zack Snyder understands what a tone is of a movie. And this is what kind of frustrates me is sometimes he gets the tone spot on, man. Like when we saw She-Ra when we saw that opening montage of Las Vegas being overwhelmed. Some of the parts where they're attacking zombies, he gets the tone right for this movie. It's supposed to be an action zombie movie. But then he breaks into fucking parts where Batista's crying to Batista Jr. about having to murder her mom, and then Batista's talking to fucking people about what they did. Who cares about any of that? Fuck all that shit.
Pick a lane.
Yeah, pick a fucking lane and stick with it. So that I was like, this is fucking stupid. Now, this is where this movie goes full bore Stupidsville, and I started having a ball.
But when it turns into Indiana Jones?
When it Indiana Jones is a good way to put it, but when it turns into Zombie 300. So we go up, and I think this was your favorite part of the movie, because I know you talked about how much you loved Guy Who Got Shot in the Leg. We're taken to a room where Greedo and two other girls are there.
This isn't the part, but I will rant and rave later on. But yeah, go on about the.
So we see Greedo and her two friends in this room. And we see the alpha zombie come in. Now, the alpha zombie wears a toga that is a toga half cape. And he's buff and he's hot. He's a zombie, of course. But I'm like, okay, what in the fuck? And the joke was, that's why they kept on showing the model of, I think it was Perseus outside of the casino. He's trying to dress like Perseus. And I'm like, that I didn't get that. I was like, that is so fucking stupid. So this zombie guy is dressed like in a Roman toga. He's so fucking dumb.
He's an alien. All this is new to him.
It was so dumb. So he goes and grabs one of the girls and is dragging the girl away. And as he's dragging the girl away, it reminded me of something when he met with She-Ra at the start of the movie. He put his ear against She-Ra's stomach. I'm like, oh, he's impregnating people. He's making a fucking, he wants to make a bunch of zombie babies.
Another clone.
No. Now, the sheer idea of a zombie penis becoming erect with zombie blood and having zombie intercourse to put zombie sperm into a zombie womb is so fucking stupid that it defies any sort of logic. And as soon as I knew that's what was happening, I was like, all right, this is garbage, but I'm totally on board for it because this is stupid.
That's when you want to send an email to Zack Snyder and get him to explain that part.
It was so stupid. But so Zombie Thor.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, Google, light on. I don't know if that mattered any.
No, I was going to say I didn't see anything.
I just forgot to
turn on my light. Looks like the fucking sun in front of me. I've got my little ring light with this light, but my God, look at that fucking shiny.
With your tattoos, your shirt
Zombie
looks
Thor.
like your shirt looks like it's a tattoo as well.
Oh, really? That's what I did. I got a tattoo of a fucking.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
But all right. So, fuck. Oh, so he drags one of Greedo's friends away, and then now Zombie Thor decides it's time for war. He's going to go to war against Dave Bautista.
Wait, did you get to the point that the guy that got shot in the leg?
Not yet. No, we're not getting to that yet. So Zombie Thor decides, I'm going to go to war against Dave Bautista and the Dave Bautista team. He has a zombie horse that he fucking rides out, and he's got like a steel rod that he's going to use as a spear. I can't even begin to describe how stupid this is.
He was literally one of the guys of the apocalypse.
It was so fucking stupid. And he rallies all the zombies to himself. He's like, come with me. And then all these fucking shrieking zombies walking like they're right out of Cats come over. And it's Batista against the zombie overlord. And then they're shooting each other and everybody's fighting. And then in a separate part of the story, Bad Guy and the Coyote capture She-Ra, who is the zombie mom. And Bad Guy garrots her head off because he wants to save her head. And you find out that was the whole purpose as to why they were going out there, is because Shidoshi Tanaka, aka Scorpion, wanted her head to be able to create a zombie army. And basically, they refer to them as WMDs, would be this zombie army. So there's Batista fight, and then while Batista and his team are fighting Thor Zombie on his horse, Batista Jr. wants to go find Greedo at the other place. So Batista Jr. goes and finds Greedo, which leads to Phil's favorite part of the movie that I'll let him take over explain.
Okay, so before guy got shot, asshole police dude gets shot in the leg and left for them to take away. So he's taken away, and
you would assume dead. You assume
or
dead.
Given to the zombies to eat, whatever. Well, instead,
also, sorry, you remember we did see him get bitten by the. There was a whole thing.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah. So he gets given to the guy. He gets bitten, and then it cuts away. So the whole point is they're saying that when someone gets bitten by this alpha, they turn into like alphas or betas, or
I think betas.
I think what happens is you get bitten by the leader and you turn into an alpha. But the leader is still like way more.
He's still the top dog.
Yeah.
But you're like one of the if he's the admiral, if he's a sergeant, or Jesus Christ, if he is a major, you are a sergeant. You know what I mean?
You're not low level zombie. You've got like extra. You're called a runner, or I think there's even like basic, runner, alpha, and then leader.
Yeah, I think it was it Shambler, runner?
Yeah, Shambler,
alpha, leader. Yeah,
something like Ramblers. They like us.
The Ramblers. They're all into country music and
anyway. They Batista Jr., the girl, and she finds her lover, and they start leaving, and then asshole comes in the picture. That's a reveal. He's a zombie. We knew that was coming. But then it's just a quick, the mother shoots him in the head or something, or just stabs. I don't remember. It's that
they shoot him.
Forgettable. And that's it.
Yep.
They had all this lead up. The built up whole thing.
His introduction takes longer than his death scene.
They could have done so much with this. Nothing. It was like, oh, I ran out of time. I got to cut that. Which Snyder, there's probably going to be later on.
Yeah, an Army of the Dead Snyder cut.
Yeah.
It'll take them 2 hours before they fucking get into Las Vegas.
This is the worst thing about the whole movie, in my opinion. Just that whole, like, there was no payoff to that whole bit. It was just,
I'd say a significant amount of it doesn't have a fucking payoff. But so Dieter gets into the safe. So they have a whole zombie blowout. They get to the bottom of the fucking casino. Dieter opens the safe. They get in the safe. As soon as they say, so now let's keep in mind. Sorry. One other thing we forgot to mention is the president decided that blowing up Las Vegas on 4th of July was unpatriotic, or people were arguing with him that it's unpatriotic.
Would be cool.
No. He said to blow it up. Oh, did he say that on July 4th would be cool?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
they were like, it would be awful if it was done.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. I remember in one of the news things they say it's unpatriotic. So he decides to up it by a day. So now instead of 96 hours, they now have like an hour remaining.
Yeah.
And they break into the safe, and then they're all going dollar bills, y'all, dollar bill. I'm like, you have an hour to get away before this place is incinerated by a nuclear bomb. You should be moving faster.
Also, they had military people secretly trying to get this head of the zombie. Why couldn't these military people tell them to do a day later rather than a day earlier?
Right.
Stupid Trump.
And they did really give that vibe that it was Trump that was the president.
Totally,
yeah. So my other thing was they break into this fucking safe, and there's about 12 skids, each of them holding about $50 million, right? Now we're talking like a pallet, man, like a fucking wood skid, and it's stacked up about 5-10 feet high.
Nah, maybe the walls, but the ones in the middle were like mid level.
Okay, but the point is they're all wearing backpacks or duffel bags.
Yeah.
How in the flying fuck were they going to get $200 million out in fucking duffel bags?
I was thinking that too. I was like, were you taking
Yeah.
trips up to the elevator? Like,
right? But then also we've got Tig Notaro up on the roof. The helicopter's a piece of shit, so she's having trouble getting it fixed. So Dave Bautista says, "Hey, Tig Notaro, how much time is it going to take you on that helicopter?" She says like 30 minutes. He's like, "All right, well that's cutting it close." And you're like, and she's like, "Fuck, this thing is fucked." She's constantly trying to gas it or whatever you do to a fucking helicopter, and like smoke and shit is blowing up the engine and it shuts down. I'm like, dude, that thing is fucked. How is she going to be able to fix it?
she's
But
an
that doesn't matter.
ace mechanic.
That's right. She doesn't do any mechanic work. Let's remember that.
We
All
don't
she does is
see
keep on
any of
gassing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All she does is keep on giving it gas, and then it starts to work. But okay,
Well,
so
that's how engines work.
Zombie Thor rides out to meet Zombie She-Ra on a zombie horse, and he finds her decapitated body. What he then proceeds, yeah, that's right. He listens, and he's like, ah! Gets all upset. He then proceeds to dig into her stomach.
No, he brings her back to the pool.
Okay.
He brought her on his horse all the way back to the pool where they do like their things, and that's when
he digs into her stomach and pulls out little, I guess,
alien baby.
You wouldn't call it an embryo.
Alien zombie.
A little body, a little maybe premature fetus. There's a word I'm looking for.
But but it ended up being like about a hand, like a small. My hand's large, but like a small.
And he's cupping it in his hands, and he's bah, bah. It's a little zombie baby that was growing inside of She-Ra. Like, this is so stupid. And they try to treat it very dramatically, and you're supposed to be sad, I guess. But it's so fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's so stupid.
It was glowing blue, and then it went out, and then
it goes like fades to black.
The weird thing is the odd times that these zombies would glow.
There's no rhyme or reason to.
There wasn't, because like they did a zoom up, far back shot of all the like once he was holding up the baby like Simba. The baby's dead, and they bring it back to show the whole zombies going, "Oh, this is awful!" Right? One of the zombies is glowing in his eyes. They didn't explain that one. Nope. It's like they would get shot and then the glow would happen, or they would just be glowing at some point. There was no rhyme or reason at all to this glow.
Nope. And that's right. As the movie progressed, and after he was dragging Greedo's girlfriend out, I feel like once we met Zombie Thor in his toga, that's when the movie just started saying, "All right, we don't give a fuck." Like, it's all the shit from here on out is going to be super fucking stupid. So he digs his kid out of She-Ra's guts. Mm-hmm. She's dead, obviously. She's headless, and he decides, all right, I'm gonna fight against Davy B.
Technically, in that moment, she's still undead.
She's headless,
but her body doesn't have the undead qualities. Her head still does.
But does that mean that the little baby was still alive? If you don't dig it out of her guts?
I don't know.
Because that effect means he killed his own fucking kid.
Essentially, yeah.
I guess if you had a headless wife, she wouldn't be able to argue with you. So. Thumbs up for that.
Let's do that to ours.
She'd just be able to spit out babies. So Davy B and the Funky Bunch are fighting all these zombies. Nope. Zombie Thor decides, I want to fight Davy B and the Funky Bunch. And so he now has like a Spartan helmet that he puts on so you can't shoot him in the fucking head. So this is where I started getting kind of bored because it started getting a little tedious. Zombie Thor goes up onto the roof to fight Davy B and his team, and the what's she called? The Coyote has the head of She-Ra. So she holds up the head of She-Ra to Thor. It was like Zombie Thor, and says, "Hey, fuck you! I'll fucking kill her." Like, she's headless. Like,
yeah, what
are you do?
He wants to keep the head though. Like, who wouldn't? Yeah.
So she says, so he takes his fucking spear and throws it, like skewers her right through the chest or some dumb shit.
I thought, okay, go on. I'll add on.
And then, okay, so he skewers her right in a way where her arm holding She-Ra's head is holding right over the ground. And she just, as Zombie Thor goes lunging at her to try to grab the head, I guess she just goes, boop, and she just drops the head. Now, I thought, as you're seeing the head fall, I thought they were going to try to do some fucking magical emotional moment. It fucking hits the ground and explodes like a fucking pumpkin the day after Halloween. It was awesome. This thing was fucking everywhere. I was like, all right, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Honestly was hoping and thought that they were going to turn this scene and have him be like, well, she's gone, I can get you, like the Blondie, because she would have made for a great new zombie mom.
She knows how it all works, right? But no, they decided, no, that's stupid.
They just completely dropped her at that point. There was no watching her die, nothing like that. You know, zombie movies or any sci-fi or anything like that, if you don't see them die, that means they could come back later or in a separate movie or sequel. No, in this, there's
only one person we want to see die in this movie. But so Davy B gets on the helicopter. Tig Notaro gets on and let's also be aware too, they have no money by this time. They got none of the fucking money.
Yeah.
So he says, hey, let's go to that place, get my daughter. So he says, okay. So they go back there, they get the daughter. They all get onto the helicopter, and then Zombie Thor does a whole running for the helicopter, jumps on. They're struggling inside the helicopter, fighting. Davy B gets bitten. Or do you know he gets bitten, or you don't know he gets bitten yet? I thought I
didn't notice at all.
Okay, I thought I did see him get bitten, but maybe that's
maybe maybe it's the black dude that I didn't notice get bitten at all.
Oh yeah, him you didn't see get bitten at all. Yeah. But Davy B, I'm pretty sure you saw him get bitten.
Yes, you did.
But then he puts, I think, the gun. It's like I don't know if it was a regular gun or a flare gun or an elephant gun or something. Puts it right up to the
all
fucking,
the guns are insane. So
he puts it right up to fucking Zombie Thor's head and shoots him, and fucking teeth and guts and brains and eyeballs go blind. I was like, all right, that was pretty fun.
Guns act like this. Is so weird.
So then they see another thing Hack Snyder doesn't understand is how a nuclear bomb works. So there may be, what would you say? I want to say maybe a mile out of Las Vegas when the bomb hits. So remember, they're flying in a helicopter.
Yeah.
The bomb hits, Las Vegas is obliterated, and then of course the shockwave is going out. Mm-hmm. So the shockwave goes out, hits them while they're in the helicopter, knocks the helicopter to the ground. Tig Notaro's dead.
Well, that's after Tig Notaro got shot during the confrontation. Oh, that's in the helicopter.
Yep.
Which was weird in my opinion, because I was like, did she get shot? Like it looked.
I thought she got shot in the arm.
I was so lost because I thought she got shot in the head, and then she was like, there was no wound on the head, and she was alive again. Like I couldn't. Yep. I was like, I see blood on the window. But a lot
of fucking blood on the window.
It can be a graze, and there'd be a lot of blood in a Snyder movie.
But that's what I mean. I thought she got shot in the shoulder, so she was going to survive. But no, she's I guess dead as well. And then the helicopter crashes.
Did you see the aftermath of her? They didn't show it real well, but
I saw her just kind of laying in the chair.
That's what it kind of looks like, but it also kind of looks like a big beam or a rotor went through her chest.
Okay, whatever.
Which I find like they should have shown more of.
Yeah, but that would take the attention off Davy B.
Yeah, exactly.
So he tells his daughter he's so sorry in a long, drawn-out scene that does not need to be this fucking drawn out. Oh, I'm so sorry. Love you, love your mom. Bang, bang. Oh, I'm a zombie now. She shoots him. Bang, bang, bang. You're dead. Now, they're a mile out from Las Vegas, which means that the nuclear cloud that's coming out would have enveloped them by now. Also, the radiation sickness this girl's going to have, if she's not rescued in 15 minutes, she's dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, does he not understand how this shit works? And I know it's a zombie movie, so there's not supposed to be a ton of logic. But this is the same fucking guy that when he made Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Boring, you had Superman and Batman, and you were trying to bring them into Congress and argue why we need laws against Superman. If you're going to try to bring Superman and Batman into a real world, you have to understand that in your zombie movie, if you blow up a fucking nuclear bomb, the radiation sickness is going to kill people who are very near the
Everyone,
bomb.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how he can ignore that logic. But oh no, Batman and Superman, yeah, they should have. We should put laws on
which comes to the next scene or the end.
The after credit scene, right?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you go over the after credit scenes?
Did you finish it? Like Batista dies.
Yep.
Daughter shoots him.
Yep.
And yeah, that's it. So the credits, and then we come back to the safe where what's his name?
I call him Black Dude, but I think it was like
Black
Ben
Dude.
Borden.
We're horrible people. We're not racist, I swear.
The black guy, token black guy,
the Black Dude. He comes out. Obviously, I saw that one coming. Like that was, but he comes out. But he's getting radiation poisoning like crazy.
No radiation, no nothing.
Like it's almost pointless. But yeah, he'll get out in time, right? He gets out in time. But also walks out of there.
He walks out of there, and then he winds up at a diner.
No,
or at an airport.
No, well, first he winds up at someone's trailer or house and steals their car. He goes in the car to the airport, pays to rent a jet.
Yeah, like a private jet.
Gets on the jet and starts wanting to party with the hostesses.
The stewardesses, I believe.
Stewardesses. And then he's getting ill. Goes to the bathroom, and he finds a bite mark and realizes, oh fuck.
Yeah, and that's how the movie ends.
That's how we get a sequel for the show, the movie.
Yeah, I'll be right on watching that.
They're gonna land in New Mexico. Was it Mexico or New Mexico?
I was barely paying attention.
They're gonna land in New Mexico, and then they're gonna do the next zombie movie that they're gonna pay for Snyder to make.
Well, let's hope, because if it's anywhere as good as this one, go team. But yeah,
wants to be the new Romero.
My final, well, can't be Romero, he's dead. But he could come back himself in one of his own dead movies. That'd be all right.
There you go.
Yeah, this was a hard one for me to rate. It wasn't pure garbage as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't fun. Garbage, and it rode the line of stupid and stupid fun. And I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. It pushed a little bit over into stupid fun. So if I had to give it a score out of 100, I give it a 55. No, okay. I give it a 55, between 55 and 60 out of 100.
So you're not middle, but you're just slightly over middle.
Just slightly over. Some of the like, I was laughing in the opening montage. I was laughing when Zombie Thor showed up on the horse, and I was laughing when that fucking head exploded. I was like, all right, I'm having a ball watching those scenes. And just for those three, I'm like, okay, this one gets a solid 55 out of 100 for me.
I would give it a 65. I had fun. There was a lot of plot holes, a lot of stupidness. I wish this would sew up all these little points and make them all make sense. But there was so many
I wish there was more zombie killing. You know what I mean? I wish there was more zombie
killing that made sense and that felt, like you said, like that had that tenseness to it.
Yeah, that would have been fun. At the same time, is like, choose which lane you're going to go in. If you're going to be a tense, scary zombie movie like Girl with All the Gifts, do that. Or if you're going to be a balls to the wall, Shaun of the Dead, nutcase zombie killer movie, be that. Just choose one or the other, man. Don't try to ride in the middle.
Yeah, don't give us half-assed on each side. No.
But all right, I'm
what do you think is the critic score?
The critics, oh shit. Well, Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm going to be one of those conspiracy theorist guys who thinks that they're going to pay people for reviews. So I'm going to
There's
say
202
202 reviews, critics, and Warner Brothers effectively owns Zack Snyder. I'll say critics gave 60.
71.
Wow. Okay, I was close. And then that means that the audience score is going to be, oh shit. People are stupid.
Actually, Rotten Tomatoes audience score does say, "Oh shit!" No, I'm kidding. Go.
I'm going to say audience score. Fuck, this is a hard one, man. Are people smarter or are they stupid? I have a bad opinion of humanity, so I'm going to say 80.
76.
Oh, I was close.
And that's 100 plus verified ratings. How do you verify this? It's Netflix.
I don't know. Jesus. Do their emails end in @warnerbrothers.com?
Do you know how the verify system works right now?
Nope, not a clue.
Oh, at least before the pandemic, they would ask for your receipt.
Oh, to see if you actually watched the movie.
Yeah, and then you would then get your score would affect the total score after they review that your receipt is true.
Well, I don't know. How would you do that with Netflix?
Exactly.
Because how are you going to prove, unless you can say, hey, here's my receipt for my Netflix subscription?
It doesn't make sense.
But how does that prove that you watched the movie?
I don't know.
It's all
considering that before in the olden days, you would get like
the olden days.
No, but you'd get like tens of thousands, hundred thousands of reviews from regular people. Whereas now it's saying 100 plus reviews. You would think there'd be a lot more reviews out there for this movie.
You'd think, but hopefully that's a good indication that not a lot of people have watched it, so we won't get a fucking sequel to it.
I don't think we will. But
I'm kind of hoping we don't, because I think we got all that Snyder has in this movie. You know what I mean? I think we've got all the story he's got in this movie.
For your benefit, I hope we do, so that you have to watch another one.
Army of the Dead. Army gets deader.
Army New Mexican Dead.
Dead by Dawn. No,
it takes me time to be witty, and if I'm on the spot, I can't do it.
Dead by I don't know.
But who do you bring back? Did you have a new hero?
Oh no, the hero was definitely Batista Jr.
Okay, so you bring back the girl.
Batista, yeah.
She's
beefed
cute.
up Batista Jr. Coyote is the new She-Ra.
No, you can't. Well, you could. You technically could have her survive the blast and become the new She-Ra.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Coyote be the new She-Ra. Greedo and
did he pregnate her in that little bit of time before he got on the helicopter?
Right? Maybe that's why he's so angry as a zombie, because he's fucking always coming so fast.
That's why I'm angry all the time.
Why doesn't she get impregnated by the tiger? How about she got impregnated by the tiger or the horse?
I told the wife I would have loved if they would have like gone full on and did like an elephant, zombie elephant going by. You know they have some kind of circus in Las Vegas. Come on.
Oh, of course they do. But I wish they were a bit more, because that tiger was cool, but I wish it was more like, Jesus Christ, a fucking tiger. What the fuck? Like, I wish it was more not goofy, but that right in that line of what the fuck? Like
more
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead was great, and Shaun of the Dead had just the fucking right amount of Jesus Christ and goofiness. Like the lion
in Jumanji.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
That was tense. That made it look like it was big. Yeah.
Oh, you know what a great fucking example? The Zool dogs in the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They're scary, but you're also like, what the fuck? Whenever you saw them, like they're funny. Like it's a funny vibe that you get from them, but they're scary as fuck to look at. That is the vibe that I was hoping to get from the animals in this.
You would have to do something completely new and crazy. What's in New Mexico that he could work with? Like
what are they called? Those fucking armadillos.
That would be
Zombie
funny.
armadillos.
I'd be okay with that. All right,
Oh.
so guess what? I don't know.
I get to decide the next movie.
No, that's never gonna
God damn
happen.
it.
No, if you
And it's funny too. Hold on, I gotta mention Leslie. So we're sitting down, we're watching this movie, and
Yeah.
Leslie says to me, "Why the fuck did you decide to watch this?" And I'm like, "I don't decide the movies to watch. Phil decides the movies to watch." She's like, "Do you ever get to decide them?" I said, "No, because then we'd watch some fucking 1940s art house movie that we find on Netflix." And
Oh,
even
wait,
Phil would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
hold on. The last movie you wanted us to watch, and that you wanted to make sure that happened, was something you didn't even watch, and I got stuck watching it,
Oh,
and it ended up being
that's
a
good
pile
point.
of art house crap. Okay,
All right, that's a good point. Maybe that's why I'm never allowed to fucking choose anything
but that's
moving
not
forward.
that's not the thing. If there's ever something you want from Netflix or whatnot, you can anytime just tell me in advance. I've
I'll
already
text you,
told you
and
that.
then you can bring it up like it was your
But
idea.
most of the stuff that I choose, I go off of like things that are like a big deal that are coming to Netflix. This was a huge deal. This was one of their big tentpoles. So and like when there isn't as much stuff, I try to pull in from outside of Netflix. Or I know that we really like the documentaries, so I pull from that. Stuff that you most likely will never see me watch for the show. I will never suggest it. I will never even come close to it unless you specifically reach out and say, we need to watch this. It will be a horror movie.
All right, then I gotta find some good fucking horror movies on Netflix.
I totally admit that I'm a pussy and I hate jump scares and that one in Oxygen where she opens up that got me. I was just like, oh. I don't play Resident Evil. I don't know. So I know you love your horror movies, but Jesus, no. I would piss my pants. Anyway, episode 17 next week will be a documentary and one will be a kids television show.
Is it Camp Cretaceous?
No, that actually came out this past week, and
I saw it came up on my Netflix queue.
2 episodes so far, and my son and I love to watch it. There's another honorable mention. Okay, the documentary is Nail Bomber. I saw the trailer for it. It looks really good.
All right, hold on. Then I got to mention something. Oh, you know what? We'll save it for the next one.
Sure. And then the other one will be Eden.
Oh shit! I've heard about this.
Yeah, Eden is actually another. I don't know if we would call it a tentpole, but I'll give you a little synopsis. Premise: thousands of years in the future, a city known as Eden is inhabited solely by artificial intelligent robots whose former masters vanished long ago. On a routine, okay, that's all I'll say. But
I was gonna say it doesn't sound like there's any boobs.
No, on a routine.
Not that there was any fucking boobs. This
assignment within the depths of the city, 2 maintenance robots accidentally awaken a human baby girl from stasis, questioning their belief that humans were forbidden ancient myth. So, I saw the trailer for it in one of these videos on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, that actually looks really good." So, I think we'll enjoy it.
Well, it's not going to have any nudity, so I don't know how much I'm going to
enjoy. No, we're not going to see a human young girl nude in a cartoon for kids. No.
Oh God.
But maybe in Nail Bomber, you never know.
Right, nail. But all right. So one thing I'm going to mention,
Bomber,
real quick, is if you listen to last week's episode, there was an Australian movie that I was trying to remember what the fuck it was called. Because it's such a good ghost story. It is called Lake Mungo. It took me 2 days, but I remember I was just sitting there watching television, and it came to me just like a fucking bolt of lightning. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I texted you, "Lake Mungo" is the name of the movie. If you ever get a chance to watch Lake Mungo, definitely watch it. It's a great fucking movie. Also, I was told to mention to you to make you get really, really angry to mention the term blood work.
Well, we're running out of time, so maybe next week we'll talk about blood work.
We'll start the whole fucking thing with
blood work. That movie makes me so angry.
All right, so to make sure that we don't get we don't go on a tangent now, for Netflix Weekly episode 15, I'm Rob, and with me as always is.
So this has actually been episode 16.
What did I say?
15.
Oh, I'm sorry. Episode 17. This is Phil.
No.
I'm Rob.
16.
For episode 24,
16.
I'm Rob. I'm Phil.
Yeah.
All right, episode 16. Remember to email us at email us at Davey B and the Funky Bunch at netflixweekly.com.
Yeah, try to spell that one out.
What?
I said try to spell that one out.
Or Phil's Everlasting Hernia at netflixweekly.com.
Actually, a lot better this week.
Good. So's my back, which is nice.
Yeah, well, that's because I rub it for you.
That's right. Don't you? If you remember, I proposed to Phil in our last. No,
they didn't see that video. That'll be released if they ever buy me.
Oh,
an
that's
iMac.
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If they buy me an iMac, I will release that. But the iMac is not for personal use; it's for the show.
Oh, just for the show. All right, we got to get a Patreon so people buy us an iMac.
Those things are sexy, dude.
Right. All right. Well, for Netflix Weekly, I'm Rob.
Episode 16.
Episode 16. I'm Rob. How long did it take us to think to end this episode?
I
Bye.
probably cut it like 5 hours ago.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. La 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 la. Da 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 da.